Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You're still watching Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. I am joined by a member of House of Representatives for Just South, Just East Federal Constituency, Honorable Dajung Musa Bagos, for discussion on the Plateau bloodbaths. Honorable Bagos is a two-time member of the House of Representatives on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Thank you very much for joining us, Honorable. It's so good to have you on the program again. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening. Good evening, Nigeria.
So let's start with insecurity in Plateau State. How will you assess the situation now?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the act of insecurity that is on the Plateau today, we won't just say, we will just call it casually that is insecurity, but outrightly is genocide that is going on in our villages. Recall that one of the local government has been the most peaceful local government on the Plateau since its creation. Mangu local government, which happens to be the local government of the current governor, start experiencing extreme, not just one or two killings, but an act of gruesome genocide that has been taking place on daily basis, killing people, and other local government, which has been an act, a form of attack, Riomberkiladi, Jos South, which is my own local government. Yesterday evening around 10:30 p.m., 7 of my youths in my own village were gruesomely killed. One of the a woman that was around that vicinity, a stray bullet hit her. She's in the hospital, but her child, about 2 years old, killed. So you just, it's something that we have made it to be like the normal norm in the country, that 2-3 people are being killed on daily basis. We come to the TV, we talk about it, the press say what it is, and it goes. Insecurity, nothing happens. But until we start looking at it genuinely, that these are the real issues on ground. What is happening? It's genocide. What is happening is it is a mark and trying to be able to chase people out of their villages until we start identifying what is happening genuinely. Then government will now know that, look, we need to look into this issue. But as long and as much as we keep sugarcoating what is happening as just a number of people are being killed on a daily basis as if they are chicken, then nothing will be done. So these are issues that the insecurity that we are experiencing today, it shouldn't be looked as just an insecurity. It's an act of genocide. It's a gruesome attack. People are being chased from their lands on a daily basis. These are issues that are happening, and that is why we are asking for how long.
So this issue of insecurity in Plateau State seems endless. I mean, looking at the myriad of problems Plateau State has grappled with for close to 2 decades, the security of lives and property has become the most pressing. Why has it become so intractable?
Yeah, because government in and out have not really addressed the issue as it is. I remember that the last administration, when the past governor said that he was able to achieve peace, I said, no, what you were able to achieve was political peace. And any peace that has been and is in any form achieved as a reason of political condition, it will not last. When interest overrides whatsoever you had been able to use at that particular point for your form of agreement, when it passes out, definitely everything will go back to square one. And so political peace can never solve any solution in terms of insecurity, because when you look at forms of conflict, you have almost like 5 different forms of conflict. When you have conflict that is being caused by information, conflict that is being caused by environmental issues, what is happening on the plateau, I will look at that kind of form of insecurity from conflict that has to do with environment, the environmental side of it. Number one, you need to look at the political side of it. Number two, look at what it has to do with the land. What does the land on the plateau has? Why is it that among other states within other regions, look at the issues of the insecurity across the country. When we are talking of Zamfara, what is in Zamfara today that Zamfara people are being killed on daily basis? Then it's because of the mineral resources. Come to Plateau. Look at why the insecurity issue in Plateau State has been ongoing. Number one, the mineral resources in Plateau. Check all the land that the bandits have captured and have chased Plateau people. Those places are where they mine tin. Those places are where our people do large scale of farming. Those areas are where you see that there are streams and the areas is very fertile and green. Those are issues that if government start looking at the systematic, how systematic these bandits or these suspected herdsmen have been able to evade our people from different areas, you know that there is a reason why they are doing this. So if we just sit down and just assume that it's farmers and herders clash, which we have never accepted that it is a clash, that is where we always get it wrong. But when you look at what is going on now on the plateau, most of these areas that people are killed on daily basis, they have high scale of farming. They have high scale of mining of mineral resources. The 7 boys that were killed in my village yesterday, all of them were miners. All of them were miners. When you go to Mangu, Mangu is the local government that has the highest scale of grains that come out of Plateau State and even in the Middle Belt to other parts of the country. When you go to Riom is one of the areas that you have high level of mining activities going on. And likewise, Barkin-Ladi. Today, one of the areas that we have always said since 2012, where the senator was killed and they have now renamed it as Mahanga, high level of mining activities is going on in that place that nobody can go in and go out unless you are one of them that is into high level of mining. Go to Wase, which is in Plateau State. The insecurity that is happening in Wase today is as a result of mining. And by the way, 90% of people, or 85 to 90% of people in Wase are Muslims. So are you saying that it's religious or it's farmers, herders clashing? No, because of the mining activities that is going on in those axes. So government needs to sit down to address these issues effectively. These crises that are going on, it is not religion at any level. I will always say that it is not religious, it is not farmers, herders clashes, but it is a genocide trying to grab the land of our people because of the resources we have, because of how agrarian our people are. That is what is happening on the plateau. So, but when we sugarcoat it and try to say that it is a political issue, we try to then, why is it that the peace is not going on? And that is one of the questions that I will want to even ask the former governor, that then he bragged that he has achieved peace because he gave them a commissionership. That is on the media. So who are those people that you were able to compensate with a position of commissioner that you were able to achieve peace? Who were those people that were able to compensate with various positions that you had? So which means you go and kill someone or you go and chase someone from your own land and you bring him to the table to negotiate instead of prosecution, which led us to the lack of justice. Because justice have not been dispensed to people that have been killed. Nobody has been brought to book. That is why these things are continuing on a daily basis.
All right, Honorable. So these issues you have raised, are they restricted to those axes you mentioned or the states in general? And are these responsible for the latest killing spree?
Is it this issue of what? I couldn't...
All of these issues you raised earlier, I'm asking if they are restricted to those areas, to those axes you mentioned, or the states in general.
Yeah, because when you look at those areas, we have places that are hilly on the plateau. Nothing has happened there because the places are hilly. The places is not agrarian. You cannot you cannot farm very well in those places. You cannot at the same time rear cattle in those places. No mining activities in those places. No attack has taken place in those areas. You see that there are fertile places that you see, you have streams, places that you see that mining activities is going on. Those are the places that are being attacked on a daily basis. And that should be able to make the federal government to start looking at the crisis that is going on within the northern region. Because the agitation that has happened in the past in the south, they were talking and they were agitating on the issue of resource control. And that was where they were giving amnesty. But now in the north and in the middle belt, what are these people agitating for? Because if there is anyone that needs to agitate on anything, should be us, the landowners, that we are agitating for something. But somebody from somewhere has come and chased us out of our own land. So who is that person that you are expecting us to even negotiate with? So you will come and chase me out of my land, and I will come and negotiate with you to share the land or to leave the land for you? So we need to really come back to the table to look at the security situation that the people that are living in all these places illegally should be chased out through security, using the security architecture. We appreciate all the security agencies within us. Security have information on where has been grabbed, who has been killed, what is supposed to have been done. But to us, at most times, is the political will to be able to execute this information that the security usually put on the table. Because you cannot tell me that someone will come in the middle of the day or in the early hours of the morning, you will follow a road to go and attack, still follow the same route, and you cannot trace those and to know where this person is coming from. Then in the 21st century, which means technology is no longer being used. And by the way, recently, these people have started using drones. These people in the hinterlands are using satellite phones. How did they get it? So if bandits are now using satellite phones, bandits are now using drones, you even hear that allegedly a helicopter come and drop something in the bushes for them. What is the work of the intelligence that the security agencies have on a daily basis? Why is it that our own security agencies, with the amount of monies that we have been able to allocate to them from the National Assembly, that will not be using technology to be able to get these people? Today, remove technology from the West will be blind in terms of security. So we are blind in terms of security in this part of the world because we are not so much using technology. I expect that as Operation Safe Haven have relocated to Mongu, it shouldn't be just that they have relocated with machines, and so we should be able to have a situation room with screens that we are seeing here in the studio, that in this screen, they have a whole map of Mongu, they have the whole map of Plateau. They can be able to monitor and see movements that are going on the ground from a room.
All right, so Honorable, talking about
is technology addressing insecurity.
And now, Honorable, talking about Mangu now, between April and now, 204 persons were killed in 53 villages in Mangu. What makes it peculiar?
What is what?
You get my question. What makes Mangu peculiar?
Please come again. I said it earlier. Number one, why Mangu is peculiar, for me, I would look at it that why is it that when Mangu now has a governor, that the attack started going to Mangu? And when you look at all the former governors, let me start from Daria. Daria is from Bagos. Bagos had attack because when Darie was from Bagos. When Jang became the governor, again, Jang is from Jos South. Jang had that same attack. Now it is the governor from Mongu. Mongu is having this kind of severe attack. So these are issues that we need even to interrogate when it comes to political interest. But when it comes to the issue of land grabbing, when it comes to issue of what does each of this local government has as in terms of food crops, in terms of mineral resources, these are issues that we need to interrogate further. But when we now to sugarcoat and say sugarcoat it and say that it is farmers and herders clash, that is a narration that we will not and we will never accept it on the plateau. Because if it is farmers and herders clash, which means when there is a clash, both between the farmers and the herders, you will have casualties. But this is a situation where people are sleeping, someone will come and raid the entire house, burn their houses, even at some point, even go to their own farms and graze the entire farm. So even if the country, and even if government will not look at that very particular moment, Plateau State contributes to the GDP of this country not less than 20%, and at the same time, in terms of farm produce, come to Abuja here, most of the potatoes you find in various shops, be it ShopRite and other places, tomatoes, green beans, green pepper, and all of these are from Plateau. But I can tell you that next year you will not find it coming from Plateau because most of the farmers have been chased away from their lands. Mangu is where you get potatoes and grains alongside Bagos. Jos South is where you get at the same time potatoes, grains, and most of this cabbage and the rest. The same thing with Barkin Ladi, the same thing with Rio. So food security is something that will hit this country if care is not taken in 2024.
All right, then. So before now, we used to witness killings in Plateau North, but now it's Plateau Central. If you're saying this is not a farmer-herders clash, is this a case of isolated attacks or emerging patterns?
Well, it's like the output for me to get your final question is usually a problem. So can you still come again? Sorry.
Let me repeat my question. I mean, we're used to witnessing killings in Plateau North. So I'm saying now it's Plateau Central. But you have said, this evening you've said, this is not a farmer-herder clash. And I'm saying, if it is not, is this a case of isolated attacks or emerging patterns? Did you get that, Honorable?
But this is something that, well, let me try to articulate what you just said. I couldn't get it all. But imagine, imagine, because if we don't address it, it will spread. And the mistake everyone will take on this matter is to just look at this issue as only Plateau. Before it engulfed even Plateau North, it started from a small ward, and it was coronated as religious. It was coronated as political. It spread out. Before it even went to Kaduna or to Benue, when we were shouting, we were saying that, oh, Plateau people, you don't want to live in peace. But if the real issues were looked upon at that very particular moment, we couldn't have been having these issues in Zamfara. We couldn't have been having these issues in Benue. Now it has gone, because miners, when you want to mine, it is when you finish here and you see that it is there again in another place, they go for it. Today, NNPC have said there is oil in Bauchi. Let me tell you, if care is not taken and within Bauchi axis, because of that oil, because if there are mineral resources, they will go back to Bauchi. Tomorrow they are saying Nasarawa, you will see it there. So government should be able to take charge of these areas when there is perceived issues of mineral resources. And God forbid, history does not lie. Check the Central African Republic. How and why is Central African Republic what it is today? As a result of mineral resources. Government did not take it serious then. Now the issue of banditry in Central African Republic, it has worsened. So God forbid that we don't take these issues very serious and we look at it as if Plateau people don't want to live in peace. We look at it politically, we look at it religiously, and the bandits are doing and having an international network, and they come and tear this country because of mineral resources. Tomorrow you will see every mercenaries in different places holding different regions, and God forbid that we become a failed state. These are issues that government needs to call a national confab on insecurity, not a summit. A confab in the sense that every region, every state should be able to bring in its representative. Let's be able to sit down and look at this issue of insecurity. Because we have said that, look, if issue of state police is not being looked into, let us start policing our areas. That would be one of the solutions, because we will now know who truly is for us and who is not for us. I can clearly tell you, show you, if I can use my phone on this medium to show you what, before the attack of yesterday, and this is something that the world and even the military should take it very serious. Before the attack yesterday in my own village, someone in a military uniform was seen moving within the environment. But youth saw someone that, look, this person does not look like someone that is, even if it is a military, we have not been seeing him around the checkpoints within the environment. And the youth apprehended him. That is state police. The youth apprehended him in a military uniform. But they now found and saw an ID card. If you can zoom, you will see this ID card that was apprehended from him yesterday. This ID card, it says Nigerian military, but he does not have name, no rank, nothing. So, which means some people have infiltrated the Nigerian military without them knowing. So, people will use uniform of the military or the police to enter into environments that are porous, environment that when people see uniformed people and they kind of now say, oh, we have gotten hope, they never knew that they are people that are there to cause the havoc.
So
if these youth had not apprehended this person because it was suspicious yesterday, we don't know how it could have happened. So the security agencies need to do more. They need to look at people that have infiltrated them. They need to look at who is genuinely a military person, because this is a fake ID card. We appreciate the Operation Safe Haven, the revered and the celebrated STF commandant, which Plateau people celebrated when he came to Plateau, because he was in Plateau, they saw what he did. And I'm sure if for him to relocate to Mangu as of yesterday, we were going to have some relief. So when we see security agents and agencies that, look, they have given their heart to ensure that we are peaceful, we celebrate them. But the bad eggs among them need to be fetched out. They need to do more than that. So we are calling on government to look into this issue of insecurity on the plateau, not just with an open eye, but with a very serious goggle and binocular to look at who is doing what, and at the same time to give justice to these people. At the same time, let our people go back to their lands, let our people start farming. We have fertilizers now, we don't even know where to and how to share the fertilizers, because the people have left their farms.
All right, so Honorable, I mean, from a lawmaker's point of view, are you saying the military is powerless on this matter?
No, not that the military is powerless. Every military in every country in the world has the capacity. Every military in the world has the capacity to be able to address issues. And I know when we discuss with the military, they always talk about collateral damage. For us in the plateau as it is now, our people are being killed 200, 300 on daily basis. If you have collateral damage of 50 people and the issue is being solved, we won't mind. Because how can we continue our people in numbers within 1 month or within a year? You will find hundreds of people are being killed and you will not take action and you are scared of collateral damage. They have the capacity. I always praise the DSS and other security agencies that look, they have information of what is happening on a daily basis. They have information on each and every one of us. But executing this information is what has been able to be the problem and which is part of the political will. From the way I have seen the president, from how he have taken the issue of insecurity by changing the service chiefs, from him to even give my governor an audience, it shows that he's interested in addressing the issue of insecurity. But time is not on our side. Whatsoever plan the president has, he needs to unveil and execute it immediately. Immediately. Because we can no longer sit and see how we are being killed on a daily basis. Every day now, if you wake up in the morning and you say, thank God. Even the security agencies, even the security personnel, at some point, they are not safe. Because you have a checkpoint with about 2 to 3 people with only 3 AK-47, and these people come in numbers. They will outrun the security agencies. Many of them, the security personnel, many of them have been killed at one point or the other across the country. So we need to look at this issue that, look, we are and we have the responsibility to give security to Nigerians. It is no longer time for politics. Time for politics has gone. It is no longer time for blame game. Whatsoever we want to achieve as politicians, everybody is in office. It is time for governance. And time for governance between now and 2027, if we don't secure these people, who will even vote for us again? Even if for selfish reasons. If we don't even secure these people, how are we going to even get the food? Are we going to start importing food, doing subsidy to import farm produce? So, political statement on issue of insecurity in Nigeria, the time is over for this. I want to call on the president on my knees and on the knees of Plateau people that he should be able to address the issue of insecurity. If the IG will relocate to Plateau, if the Army Chief of Staff will relocate to Plateau, if all the military and the security personnel will relocate to Plateau, just like they relocate them during season elections, that you will have 20,000 personnel to a state to protect votes. We need those 20 to 30, 40,000 personnel on the Plateau to protect people. Because now it is Plateau. If we don't address it, we don't know which state will come next.
All right.